What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror, and today we are back with episode 10 of my Halloween Spooktacular. We're getting close. We only got 3 videos left. Today, just when you thought I couldn't do any more tier lists on random horror movie things, I come up with another idea. Today, we are going to be doing horror movie signature weapons. All of the signature weapons of our favorite horror movie icons. I went through and picked out a bunch of iconic weapons from horror movies, a couple from shows, and just iconic weapons of horror. I did have to group some of them together, like, obviously Norman Bates, Michael Myers, Chucky all use a butcher's knife, so I just clumped them all together, because there's no point in ranking Michael Myers' butcher's knife and Chucky's butcher's knife, so it's just a butcher's knife, and we're moving on. So I did have to group all of those together. Let's get right into the tier list. All right, so the first two I am going to start off with is Jason's machete and Michael's butcher's knife. As I said, I'm grouping them all together, so this is just butcher's knife in general. I don't know why I said Michael's. And they're both going to go in C tier. Now, obviously, I am a Jason fanatic. He's my favorite horror villain of all time. I love this guy. But it's a pretty basic weapon. Like, a machete isn't the most creative, neither is a butcher's knife. They're both passable, iconic horror weapons, but I can't put them any higher because they're not creative at all. But the complete opposite of that, we have Freddy Krueger's finger knife glove, without a doubt going up to S tier. This is the most iconic horror movie weapon of all time, and for good reason. It is a leather glove with razor blades coming out of the fingers. It's very, like, Wolverine-esque. He's got claws for fingers. Some people think, like, I literally have had people say, like, oh, the guy with claws for fingers. Like, okay, yeah, it's a glove, but I'll let it slide. I guess it is kind of actually his claws in part 2, but either way. Yeah, the best weapon in all of horror. Now we have Predator's wrist gauntlets, or wrist blades, whatever, the ones that shoot out of his wrist. I think they're super cool. I'm going to put them in A tier. They're cool. That's about all I can say about them. They don't feel super unique, because like I said, you got Wolverine who does this. Freddy Krueger obviously has his own claws. I just think they're good. They're cool, but they're not top tier. Also not top tier, Predator's Plasma Caster. I'm going to put it in A tier. Pretty cool. Another pretty cool weapon. This was one of the only people that I was like, yeah, he needs 2 weapons, because those are the 2 things you think of when you think of Predator. I just love both of these weapons. I think the Plasma Caster is probably my least favorite of the 2, but still good. Now we have chainsaws. I have Ash's chainsaw arm here, but this is obviously Leatherface as well, and anyone else who wields a chainsaw, so I could put it in C, because it is a pretty basic weapon, but I feel like it's a bit better than a knife or a machete, so I'm going to stick it in B tier. I really like chainsaws. I think it's just because of the loud. They're so loud, and that makes them just more scary, because, the easiest way to get somebody to jump is just a sudden loud noise, and just a sudden rip of a cord on a chainsaw, getting that thing to start up, is terrifying. I've gone through multiple haunted houses in my life, and every time, you still jump when you hear that chainsaw rev. So, I love it. It's a great weapon, but it is not super unique. Now we have Ash's boomstick from, I think, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. It's a gun. Okay, I get it, Evil Dead fans. You can claim that you love the chainsaw arm, but his boomstick is a gun. It's a gun. I'm still gonna stick in C, because I like the scene where he's, like, introducing it to everybody from the past, but it's a gun. Now we have a way better gun, the machine gun leg from Planet Terror. And you'll hear me talk about this movie in a few days here, because it is on the zombie ranking. But this is badass. It's badass. That's all I can say about it. Not practical, not at all possible, super unrealistic. With that being said, A tier. Like, there's no way she would be able to function this gun. She is shooting people with it. She's launching explosives out of it in this movie. I don't care. I love it. Now, I did separate Ghostface's knife from Michael Myers' knife. I don't know why I did that, but I did. I'm just going to put it in the same tier. It's another knife. Now we have Annie Wilkes' sledgehammer, and this is a very good weapon for what she uses it for. She hobbles this guy by breaking his legs, keeping him in the bed. But let's be honest, if there's a horror villain chasing you, you hope they have a sledgehammer because it is so heavy, and if they are swinging it, they're giving you a couple business days to reply to that thing because they're like, ugh. You have enough time to get out of the way. It's so unbelievably impractical for any other horror villain besides someone who has somebody who's literally has his legs broken. So for her, I'll put it in B, but otherwise it would be probably D. Now we have a few various axes. We're starting off with just a classic axe. I have the picture of Jack Torrance from The Shining. Here's the thing, like I just mentioned with the sledgehammers, axes are very heavy. So if someone's chasing you with an axe, they're not going to be able to move as quick as they would if they were carrying a knife. So, and it's just a basic axe, so I'll put this one in C tier. Then we have, like, the battle axe, I guess. It's just, like, a double-sided axe. There's blades coming off of both sides. This one's from Urban Legend. That one I'm going to stick in B tier. It's just a little bit cooler than a normal axe. I don't know why. I always think the battle axes look pretty cool. I call them battle axes. I don't care. That's what I'm going to say. But, yeah, I just think they look a little bit cooler. Maybe a little bit more practical. I don't know. I just think they look cooler, so they're going up a little bit higher. Now we have the Beast from Mandy, and this is the best horror movie axe of all time. I mean, this thing is dope. I mean, S tier, no doubt, no doubt. Now we have the axe from Jeepers Creepers, and they could have very well just gone with like a basic axe or a basic hatchet, but they go the extra little step and add like those pitchfork prongs off the back, and I don't know what it is about that just really adds to it for me. So I'm going to stick it in B tier. It's still just an axe, but it has pitchfork prongs on the back. And he doesn't even really use it to kill anybody. He just kind of like bites people, but still, pretty good. Now we have the final axe, and this is a pickaxe from My Bloody Valentine. Like I said, with the sledgehammer and with the axes, this one's heavy as hell. And a lot of what pickaxes are actually used for is that, you know, whenever you see someone swinging a pickaxe, they bring it up over their head or over their shoulder, and they come down and hit it. And so you also have that force of them bringing it down, but then you get that little added gravity. So unless you have someone standing directly in front of you, like down below where you're swinging, it's not going to be super effective. Now, I still think it's a good, decent weapon, but I'm not going to put it anywhere higher than C. Now we have the trophy dagger blade from Malignant. And from the moment I saw Malignant, I love this weapon. It feels very Giallo, and I do like Giallo movies, so kind of like that little reference there. I'm pretty sure it was intentional the way that they did it. So I'm going to stick it in A tier. It's still pretty much just like a knife, just looks a little bit cooler. So I can't justify putting it in S tier, but it is still a decent little blade. I mean, it's way better than just having a butcher knife or like a hunting knife because it's unique, it's different, but at the end of the day, it is still pretty much just a knife. Now we have the hedge clippers, shears, whatever, from The Burning, and this is probably going to be the only one I stick into D tier. I think trying to kill someone with a pair of scissors is not going to be very effective. So trying to kill someone with a giant pair of scissors, way less effective. Because even with a pair of scissors, if you just hold it and you go for some stabs, you can get some stabs off. This, you literally have to be chasing someone like freaking Exorcist 3 style, ready to chop their head off. So I just don't find this at all realistic. Like, there's no way that you could effectively kill somebody with this unless they're like tied down. So I just never really thought that this one was all that good. Now we have Pennywise's razor sharp teeth and deadlights. I really, if you know me, I love it. It's my favorite horror movie ever. I don't like how CG it looks, because it does look kind of bad in some of the scenes, but still a very cool concept, very cool thing. So I'm going to stick it up into A tier. Wouldn't quite put it in the top. And if you're wondering why I put Pennywise's teeth on here, shut up. Now we have the Lament configuration and all the horrors inside of it. So I'm counting like Pinhead's chains. I feel like that's pretty fair to just throw in with this. And I'm going to stick it into A tier. I think keeping it from S tier is really just the fact that the Hellraiser movies suck so much. I still think the Lament configuration is cool. It's obviously an iconic visual from the series, probably the most iconic visual from the series besides the Cenobites themselves. And the chains are always used for some very good stuff. They tear people apart in literally almost every movie. So, very good, gory, graphic ways to kill somebody in this series. But I just wouldn't say it's top tier because it is used in some pretty crappy movies. Now we have Art the Clown's Bag of Goodies. And this is kind of just like a way to justify how slasher villains always have the weapon that they need on hand. Like Jason, oh, he needs a corkscrew, here's a corkscrew. Oh, he needs a spear, here's a spear. And he just has them for no reason. But in this one, they never show you what's in that bag. So when he pulls it out, you're surprised every time. And also, it's just like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense he'd have that in there. Like, it could be a hacksaw, or it could be a gun, or it could be a knife. Or who knows, maybe he's going to pull out a bomb and blow up a mall full of kids. Yeah, like, you never know what he's going to pull out. So it's insane. You never know. And so for that, I'm just sticking an A. Sticking an A. I don't love the Terrifier movies, but that's a very good way to just have your slasher villain have anything they need. So, pretty good. Now we have the lollipop from Trick or Treat. And this is an iconic visual. Like, when you think of Trick or Treat, you think of Sam, you think of his pumpkin lollipop. And besides it being an iconic visual, it's a lollipop. It is a pumpkin lollipop. And sure, you can get lollipops pretty sharp. I love Trick or Treat, and I love this movie, and I even love this lollipop. But if we're going off of weapons here, I like how creative it is, so I'm going to keep it out of the bottom, but it's still a lollipop. Now we have the cotton candy gun ray guns from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I have seen these things at Spirit Halloween every year, and every year I get closer and closer to buying one. I have a feeling next year I'm going to cave and get one of these for myself. But in the movie, they use it as like their main source of killing. They shoot people, they put them into cotton candy cocoons, and then they suck the blood out of them. Yes, that is the plot of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's pretty insane. I'm going to stick this one in... What the heck? I'm going to stick this one in B tier. I think it is a very good way to tie in the clown theme and just have, like, how would clowns kill people? Turning them into cotton candy? Sure, sounds fun. So, you get that in there. It looks it fits the aesthetic of the movie, so I do like it. Now we have a sickle or like a mini scythe. I have Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon on here, but also you could go Children of the Corn or a couple other directions with this one. I always think scythes are super cool. It's one of the few like basic horror weapons that I'm like, you know what? I'll give you that. That's cool. I'm going to stick it in A tier, however. Like I said, it is a bit basic. I can't justify putting it in that top tier, but that is a little bit of my personal bias. I don't know why, but if I were playing a slasher villain, I would 100% want to have the sickle. So, I don't know why. I just think they're super cool. Now we have the reagent serum from the Reanimator trilogy. I like the Reanimator, the original Reanimator movie. I haven't seen the other two, but I think this counts as a weapon. I don't know. This is the reason that people die in the series, because he brings them back as zombies. So, if anything, it's like a zombie maker. I don't know. I'm just trying to justify why I have it on the list. I'm going to stick it in B tier. It's an iconic visual. The way that it's glowing green. Like, you don't have to make it glowing green, but they do. And it's cool. It's iconic, so I love it. It's going in the middle. Now we have Saw traps from Saw. And this is just all of them as a whole. Now, obviously, there are some very good Saw traps and some very bad ones. But I'm not going to take the average, and I'm just going to say Saw traps are amazing. I'm going to put them in S. I mean, they basically created, like, the escape room craze. Like, could you escape this Saw trap? Everybody who's asked themselves, like, Could I escape that saw trap? Like, oh, could I dig behind my eye to get a key out? Could I cut into somebody's stomach to dig a key out? Could I sift through a pit full of needles full of different diseases to try and find a key? So I love saw traps. There are some very bad ones, obviously, but there are also some very, very good ones, so I feel like I have to put it up in the top. Now we have Candyman's hook hand, and I'm also going to count the I Know What You Did Last Summer Fisherman's hook in this. I think hooks look cool. They're not the most practical weapons of all time because obviously, you know, you got the hook on your hand and it's just dull, 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 sharp. So you got to really swing it at like an awkward angle or come down on someone or uppercut them for it to really be effective at all. So I'm going to stick it in... I'll stick it in B tier just for Candyman's hook hand, because I think that's dope. Now we have the golden scissors from Us. I don't remember if they're actually even used to kill people. It's just such an iconic visual that I assume they are iconic. And like I said, with the burning, trying to kill someone with a pair of scissors is not going to be very effective, but these are normal-sized pair of scissors, so I think it would be a little bit more effective than the burning. And as I said, it's a very iconic visual, so I'll stick it in C and not the bottom tier. Now we have the Phantasm Sentinel Balls, or Sentinel Orbs, or Spheres, whatever you call them. These are such a unique and creative weapon in the horror genre because there's nothing like them. There is nothing like these. It's a little metal chrome sphere that flies at you, sticks in your head with two blades, goes right in your forehead, and then drills between your eyes in some of the case. I think in like one of the movies, it literally drills between the guy's eyes. It drills into your brain. It just blows blood out the back. So I think they are one of the coolest weapons in all of horror and going up to the top tier. Now we have Sweeney Todd's razor blades from Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I really like this movie, and I really like weapons that tie into the character's job or into their character. And he's a barber. Of course, he's going to have barber shaving razors. So I think that just for that, I'm going to stick it in B tier, but it is pretty much just another knife. But the way that it ties into his occupation, I think, is very good. Now we have Three Fingers bow and arrow from the Wrong Turn series. Unfortunately, I had to take a picture of Three Finger here because for some reason, none of their horror villains use bow and arrows. I think bow and arrows are some of the coolest weapons in all of horror, or not in all of horror, in all of film. Because, like, Katniss Everdeen, Hawkeye, Legolas, some of the most badass characters of all time. And I just think it's because it's so hard to be great at a bow, so when you're great at it, you can become the most dangerous person in the room. So if it was ranking bow and arrow, it would be S, but because I'm associating Three Finger with it, I can only put it in A. Now we have Lucille from The Walking Dead, and let's put that one right up to the top. I am a Walking Dead fanatic. I love the show so much. It's my favorite show of all time. Obviously, they fell off a little bit at the end there, but Negan's bat is so iconic. Like, if you were to ask someone, hey, what's a Walking Dead weapon? They're going to think of this 9 times out of 10. The 10th time, they might think of Daryl's crossbow. So, it's fantastic. It's a bat wrapped in barbed wire. Like, it doesn't need to be wrapped in barbed wire. It doesn't need to be, but it is. And it makes it a little bit cooler. And following that up to the top, we have the guitar drill from Slumber Party Massacre 2. This is an awesome weapon. Like, killing somebody with a guitar is already cool, but sticking a drill bit at the end of it and drilling into them, now that is awesome. Now, I'm obviously not super high on Slumber Party Massacre 2. I don't know many people that are, but this is an iconic weapon, and it's great, so it's going up to the top. And last but not least, we have Reggie's quad barrel shotgun from Phantasm. This is just a shotgun that has 4 barrels. I don't remember if I think he just like straps 2 shotguns together and voila, 4 barrels. It's another gun. Like I said, don't love gunshot kills, but this one's so funny and iconic that I'll just I'll give it a little bit of a boost and I'll put it in B tier, but can't quite put it any higher than that. And that is my completed tier list of the most iconic horror movie weapons of all time. Comment down below whether you agree, disagree on some of my takes. Be respectful about it, of course. And let's head to an outro. that is going to be it for today's video. Remember, if you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. So if you want to see more videos like it in the future, to be notified when I post any brand new videos or the rest of my Halloween Spooktacular, make sure to hit the bell notification to be notified when I post. And until next time, comment down below some more video ideas for me so I know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to see me rank, maybe more tier list ideas, anything in the future. So until next time, I'm Ethan Horror. This has been Ethan Horror. See ya next time.